What is the secret of people who always excel in job interviews?
As a hiring manager, and somebody that has been offered 99% of jobs interviewed for, here's what I've seen and I actively look for: most compatible fit for the role and the company. I find this when an interviewee is open and honest about their skill sets, soft and hard skills, demonstrates their core personality in the interview and connects with me as a person. We are going to be working closely. If I don't like a person, I won't hire them, and I generally like most people. The people that come in and presume they are the best fit are not good. I had one underqualified woman tell me that she expected me to send her an offer by the end of the day. She was obviously going to be working for me. And she called me honey. We are not in the southern US where that might be acceptable. That would be a no. What I've learned is that there are certain skills that I can't teach somebody to have if they don't have it already. These are soft skills. I can help somebody refine and improve them, but not give them something they don't have. These are things like intuitive problem-solving skills and organization. A plus B means I should do C, then C gets placed here. Ability to hold a balanced conversation, actively listening as well as answering questions thoughtfully, and a certain temperament that lends itself to the type of company I work at. Somebody that loved working at a small family-owned business is likely to hate working for a massive international company. You as an individual can work on gaining these, but you have to have the personal drive to do so. The key is to demonstrate that you have valuable soft skills, read between the lines of that job description. And at least the basic hard skills, those specific to the job that can be trained on, systems, software, product, etc., the job needs. Plan out good examples of how you have used these skills. I want to know what you accomplished and how using those skills to do it. I'm much more likely to hire a candidate if their soft skills are on the mark and they lack some hard skills knowledge than the other way around. I can train on software, but I can't train you to be curious and confident enough to figure things intuitively when I'm not there or force you to ask for help when you need it. Focus on showing how your full skill set and personality are a good match for the company. And make sure the company is a good match for you. If you focus on that, you'll have a more successful interview. My daughter loves going on job interviews. And she has never been turned down for a job, even ones she was clearly unqualified for. A couple examples. She is currently a project manager for an international mining and geology consulting company. She knew nothing about either one when she applied, never worked in any similar field and had never taken a single course even vaguely related. She has an AA degree in theater, a BA in history, and an MA in Welsh history. She saw that a highly regarded company was looking for a permanent project manager and a temporary, 3-month, one to replace someone on maternity leave. She basically walked into the interview and explained that while she had none of the requisite skills for the position, she was the best candidate who would ever walk through their door. She was a quick study, a hard worker, diligent, outgoing, self-confident, and would learn whatever skills she needed on the job. The company was obviously leery but had simply never met anyone like her. They hired her for the 3-month position. 2 months later, they fired the well-qualified person whom they had hired for the full-time position and gave it to her. 3 years later, she is still there. Her only bad interview was when she applied to work for the Welsh national football, soccer and the USF team. For whatever reason, the interview did not go well. Late that afternoon, she called the head of the organization, explained who she was, and told him she wanted a do-over of her interview. He was clearly surprised and taken aback, but agreed to see her again. The second interview went much better. Perhaps because of her pluck, she was hired, and worked there for several years. I would say her secret is great self-confidence, an ability to clearly state her strengths, being able to show how she will compensate for any perceived weaknesses, and being able to recognize exactly what the interviewer is looking for with their questions, and answering honestly and succinctly while continually playing up and assuring them of her abilities. Being smart, young, funny, attractive, and demonstrating a barely concealed excitement for whatever position she is seeking certainly helps. Note, res poses that claim she must have had sex with her supervisor to get the job, or ask for her contact info so they can have sex with her, will be deleted. Many already have. And I thought Quora readers were better than that. Understand what the questions you're being asked actually mean. 1. Tell me about yourself is nothing more than, what can you do for us? That's all the interviewer really wants to know about you, since what you're able to do for the company is the only rational reason for hiring you, and paying you, in the first place. 2. What can you do for us? It's crucial to know exactly what your natural work-related strengths are, since those are what you'll be bringing with you to contribute to your employer's success. Work with a career coach or a student advisor in your school, or a private career coach if you've graduated or are an experienced professional, to determine what your strengths are. Tell the interviewer, in detail, the many ways that you've helped prior companies to be successful, or how you've used your strengths in volunteer positions and school projects. 3. What is your greatest weakness? Please remember that an interview is a sales call. You are the salesperson who is presenting your strengths, talents, skills, and knowledge to the potential employer. And you cannot sell a weakness. So what you need to do, instead, is talk about a weakness that you have overcome, whether it's a fear of public speaking, improving your math skills, or becoming more comfortable and successful with leading teams in completing projects, etc. You'll be demonstrating that you're human and have had weaknesses, but also showing your ability to learn, grow, get better at doing things, and display your capacity for becoming more professional. For every question on an interview, regardless of what that question is, has an unspoken second half, a part of the question that is never stated out loud by the interviewer because she doesn't even know that it exists. The unspoken second half is, as it relates to your ability to do this job. Tack that phrase onto the end of every single question you're asked, and answer the full question. You'll be focusing on your ability to connect your strengths, talents, education, experience, and knowledge to the very specific job you're applying for, and that's precisely what the interviewer wants you to talk about. There are many other questions you'll be asked that you'll need to have interpreted for you, so that you know what the interviewer is really asking. See if you can work with someone who's excellent at acing interviews, or a career coach, and learn what each question means, and how to answer it like a pro. Honesty. I don't know if I would say I excel at job interviews. However, I do get offered a job in 95% places that I interview at. Most of the places where I didn't get offered are places where both the interviewers and myself have figured out during the interview that it wasn't a good fit. There are only a couple of interviews in the last 20 years where I wanted to get in, but was rejected. The key is to be brutally honest. First, do your research and figure out if the job is fit for you. Go in there with the aim to prove that you can do the job. If, during the course of the interview, you see places where you aren't a good fit, say it aloud honestly. I realize you are looking for someone with XXX skill set, but my expertise is in YYY. Be polite. Shake hands. Reasonable people can come to a consensus together. The aim of the job interview is to build consensus about whether you and the job are a good fit. There is no shame in realizing that you don't fit with the company. Don't treat a job interview as a rat race. More than the secret, it is the preparation and understanding what the hiring manager/company is looking for. Brief background: I have successfully interviewed and got offers from Flipkart, India; Amazon, Germany; Zalando, Germany; AMD, Singapore, among others. While preparing for the interview, this is my usual mindset and actions. What is the company business? This might sound very basic, but very few candidates take the pains of really understanding the business. What I do not mean is just scanning their websites for an overview. What I mean is going through their website, reading their annual report, treasure of information on company's challenges, latest financial press articles on their performance, easier for public companies. Using Google News to look for relevant updated news on this company. My action items: to make a list of companies' pain point or challenges that they are facing. Thinking about some of the ideas/suggestions to work on those challenges that I can talk about during my interview. Hiring manager reaction: they are usually amazed at the depth of knowledge about their business and challenges. Reflects the preparation and hard work done before coming for the discussion. Reading the JD: as a hiring manager, I am amazed as to how many candidates just ignore the JD. The JD is there for a reason. It outlines the broad strokes of what the role is looking for. As a candidate, this is how I prepare. Try to match about 70% of the JD to my skill sets. Pick the most relevant points from JD and place a real-life example of where I demonstrated expertise on that topic. Create a list of such 4 to 5 real-life situations, and the benefit it drove for my employer/boss. Use these topics as a discussion point during the interviews to showcase my knowledge and hands-on experience. My action items: be thorough on the specific working details of each of these situations. Visualize what the manager asked me for, sharing his pain points. How was the outcome achieved, with all the learning during the project/analysis? This injects a sense of confidence when talking about these examples during an interview. Hiring manager reaction: they are usually impressed that the answers are relevant, addresses their hidden questions, mentioned below, and given with confidence. By this time, there is usually a small smile appearing from the panel. Notice the change in their body language. Interview questions: nothing in the interview is about me. I am just a means to deliver what the company is asking for. So, at the end of the day, what matters is what I can do for the company. This mindset is necessary to answer typical questions. Tell me about yourself, meaning, as a professional, what value do you bring to this role and how will you address the company's pain points? This question is not intended to know about your personal backgrounds, where you come from, city or country, your school or college, which year did you complete your education or started working, your hobbies or your interests, comes at the close of the interviews. Give me an example of, meaning, have you ever worked on a similar problem or situation? How did you go about it, and most importantly, were you able to find a solution to that problem? The question is not looking for examples where you did good work. Some random examples. Did you ever face a difficult situation, meaning, do you stand for the quality and results of your work? If so, then you must run into situations where a senior colleague did not agree with you or your analysis found that another department was causing problems in achieving revenues. In such situations, how did you manage to pull through? The question is not looking for your personal life examples. Made up examples of what you think might have been a conflict situations. Your aggression, but more for your assertive and soft skills. Some of the other unspoken/implicit questions interviewers are assessing are: are you a good employee to work with? Are you a team player who gets along well with others, or just an IC who does not care about others, sometimes even the reporting managers? Are you willing to learn? Since only 70% to 80% of the JD matches your skill set, are you willing to learn the rest, learn a new business, be comfortable in a new working culture or in new business? Do you take initiatives? Are you someone who does just what is enough, or are you willing to learn more, move out of your comfort zone and grow? Hiring manager reaction: due to the quality and depth of the answers, the hiring managers are satisfied by this time. In some situations, they are out of questions to ask. This is usually an indication that their mind is made up positively about my application. The secret of acing any interview is how to stand out from the rest of the candidates, based on the strength of your hard work, genuine experiences, and personality. Most importantly, going in, keep in mind that you want to make the best decision about which job to accept as much as they want to make the right decision in choosing the best applicant. You are at this point on the same turf, working for the same goal. If you tend to have sweaty hands, keep a handkerchief in your pocket to dry your hands just before you shake hands. I don't know that it is a secret, but I have discovered there are many applicants who are reluctant to brag about their accomplishments or achievements. Write down your bragging point and work on the verbiage before the interviews. Too often applicants mistake being accretive as being aggressive. It's not the same. Best to be accretive. I.e., well, as you know, I'm light on experience, but I'm strong on enthusiasm. I always recommend at the end of the interview to ask the one question which can close the deal. I.e., do you think I'm qualified for this job? If not, then why not? Address any issues. I'm a fast learner. I didn't mention this during the interview, but If the answer is yes, then respond by telling the interviewer just how interested you are and that you will be anxiously waiting for his final decision. As with any sale, make every attempt to leave an open door for future contact. If they say they will be making their decision on Friday, then ask if it's okay to call on Friday to get their final decision. Enthusiastically. Finally, as I've said so many times, you cannot lose a job you don't have, so go for it.
Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future also. Don't forget to like and subscribe to you never miss a video.